Stefan ran through the woods. He knew it was on his tail and he had to get away. Fast. "Why didn't I keep any gold on me, damn it?" he swore loudly. The clatter of hooves and the crashing of carriage wheels echoed loudly through the woods. The trees became a blur as Stefan ran past them. He had to reach his home if he had any chance of living till tomorrow. "Why did I have to walk by that night?" he questioned. "Why did I have to visit Mr. McLeod that night?" The neighs of the horses were now audible. Then came a voice that chilled Stefan to the bone. It only said one thing, but Stefan knew it would haunt him for the rest of his life, however short that may be. The voice called out, "Stefan!" The word echoed for several seconds before fading off. A sense of dread in Stefan's stomach allowed him to pick up some speed. His lungs burned from the cold night air and his side began to throb. Well, a little pain was better than whatever lay in store for him in that horse-drawn carriage, he thought. The trees began to thin, and Stefan could see the sky when he looked up. "I'm almost to the bridge," he thought. "Almost to safety." He pushed every ounce of strength he had left, and burst onto the dirt road that connected the villages. 20 yards away from him, he saw the covered bridge. "Yes!" he exclaimed. "I did it! I'm home free!" He sprinted as fast as his burning legs would allow, trying desperately to reach the bridge in time. He heard a loud crash behind him, followed by the baying of some unnatural horse. The wheels and hooves clattered on the ground quickly, gaining on Stefan. He just kept running. He was 5 feet from the bridge when he felt a burning pain, unlike anything he'd ever felt, in his lower back and stomach. He looked down to see what happened, and the sight sickened him. Sticking through his stomach was a sword made entirely of human bone. His blood shone off the blade in the pale moonlight. The sight was almost surreal. Looking at the blade seemed to render the pain almost non-existent. It suddenly returned as he was jerked upward using the blade. He was tossed onto the roof of the carriage with a crash. The haunting voice returned, filling him with an utter sense of dread. "Stefan, I have come to claim what is rightfully mine. You condemned yourself the night you spied on me. Now I will take your soul and consume it." Stefan felt the bile rising in his throat. He didn't want to die. He was young and there was still so much he wanted to do. He turned to face his executioner and finally got a good look at him. A look of horror colored Stefan's expression. The creature had carried its own head under one of its arms. The head was a milky white with dark purple blotches across the face. The teeth were blackened and the eyes were dead. Still the head smiled at him and laughed as it saw the fear in his eyes. Stefan began to scream but was cut off as the Dullahan quickly grabbed his head and jerked. The bones in his neck snapped like dry twigs. The Dullahan then placed the other hand on the limp body's shoulder and pushed with inhuman strength. Stefan's head popped off easily, along with his spine, which hit the carriage roof with a sickening spatter of blood and bone. The creature dropped the now disembodied head and plunged its hand inside the stump. With a wet squishing, the hand dug through the body. With a yank, the Dullahan pulled a blue fire from the body. Ah, yes, what a lovely soul. It should make a fine meal. Lifting the essence to its severed head, the mouth moved hungrily towards the blue flame. The head made loud chomping and slurping noises as it devoured Stefan's soul. As it finished its meal, it heard a gasp and a bush rustle off a few yards away. The Dullahan grabbed a bucket of lukewarm blood from the carriage interior. It giggled at the thought of marking its next victim.